What's going on, everybody? Oh, goodness. What's going on? How's everyone doing today? If someone wants to make us a live jingle versus this one, that would be awesome. Something that represents what we try to do here on this live, that would be great. Because this music is interesting. Look at where we are. The land of the free, the home of the brave, the United States of America. I am back from Kenya. I have a lot to say. We have a lot to talk about. And I'll be doing these lives probably every week on Sundays. I know you guys have been missing them. The time has been split building Almasi Realty in Kenya, and all of a sudden I've given myself a whole job. I came to Kenya semi retired, just managing the brokerage here in the US, to like a full time worker again. So I'm no longer partially retired. I know it's been a while. What's going on, Eddie? How are you? What's going on, Willis Wilson? Member, by the way. Oh, shoot. Hold on. So we're in the studio. Hey, we got the soundboard back.
I like this right here.
Okay, we're back. I'm in my natural environment with the studio and all our technology. We're in the real estate brokerage office here in New Jersey. We have a whole production studio here that our agents don't take that much advantage of, and that's actually why, if you're a real estate agent in New Jersey, you guys probably should come and join us, because we will host your podcast. We help you do content above and beyond what a lot of people in the market are doing. But what's going on, everybody? Willis Wilson was waiting. Maureen, she said, "Is the live at 12:30?" You were commenting before the live was even going. Shout out to you.
I like this right here.
We have a lot to talk about. I'm experiencing some reverse culture shock. It gets very philosophical when you change your environment so drastically, because the U.S. and Kenya are relatable. That's why it's an easy place for Westerners to go and relate to and get around and all that. But it's different enough to really change your perspective on lots of things. So we're going to talk about some observations, changes. Some of this stuff I think is very unique to me, because now we're building a business in Kenya. Shout out to all of our clients, Almasi Realty clients. We have helped over 20 people in the first 2.5 months that we've been operating. Maybe a little bit more than that. I have to check our numbers. I've been very, very busy. I've been every client pretty much advising, and that's kind of how we're set up for the real estate purchases. We do have the team on the ground that can take you around. Lillian and Grace have been awesome. Our client coordinator, Grace, and Lillian, our junior sales agent. Hopefully you guys get to meet them. We're going to have a content strategy coming out. And next time I come, I wanted to get our systems right, because I feel like if we delivered a product that was not up to par, we would hear a lot of complaints and you guys would throw tomatoes at me. And then, so I was worried about that. So, we're building it out slowly. We're still in a soft launch. We haven't done any advertising or anything beyond really, like, only people that really follow the channel know what's going on. But how's everybody doing? It's 6:30 p.m. Where are you in SA? Do they chase the Black Americans out of there too? What's going on with that? Is that just the internet thing? I don't know. It's not looking good in South Africa. Anyway, if you guys are new here, my name is Ryan Fagan. I am a real estate broker in New Jersey in the U.S. I'm from the U.S. And also I own Almasi Realty over in Kenya. We help build a bridge for buyers and sellers looking to buy property in Kenya, mostly Nairobi apartments, but we've expanded a little bit. We'll talk about some new stuff we have going on. Maybe if some of you guys have seen the new videos of a couple things we got going on, but we're trying to elevate the level of service, transparency, ethics, um, and help people understand the market and make the best decision for themselves without steering them one direction or the other. Just trying to provide them good guidance and counsel, rather than just trying to sell property. So that's our goals, and building the culture is very important to me. And that's why we're still in a soft launch, because it takes a long time to train people in the way that we want to do things, because most of the real estate market in Kenya does not operate that way. Not here too much to talk about that, but if you guys are interested in buying in Kenya, Almasi Realty can help, and I'm there to advise and guide, whether I'm in the U.S. or in Kenya. The big value that we're doing is being able, the consultation is really a lot of the value. Of course, we can do the logistics and get you to the different properties, do property. What we actually like to do is give people location tours so that you understand the Westlands, Kilimani, Lower Westlands, Upper Westlands, Raptor Road, Kilimani, Kileleshwa. Different parts of Kilimani are different. Different parts of Kileleshwa are different. So actually, usually the first day we like to get you guys acclimated to the area. If we get enough people, I think we should start doing some property tours, like a property safari, where we educate and acclimate people that are interested in the real estate in the market to understand the different neighborhoods and kind of the different reasons why you buy in different areas, maybe the pricing dynamics. We have a whole setup and write up about that. But again, we want to deliver a high level of service. So we'll see how we get into that. Oh, I have so many things to say. I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. Yeah, my name is Ryan Fagan. I've been a real estate broker for over 13 years, almost 14, coming up soon. Might have already passed. I don't know my anniversary date, to be honest. But yeah, I've been in real estate sales for over 14 years. I bought my first rental property in 2010, right after the financial crisis in '08. I've been investing. I flipped almost a dozen homes, around 8 to 10 houses we flipped in New Jersey, or yeah, all in New Jersey. We do some property management for clients here in New Jersey, although it's tough because of the landlord-tenant laws. I've been in property preservation. I was a real estate analyst for a commercial appraisal firm. I've been in the mortgage industry selling mortgages, mostly refinances, cash out refis, things like that. And I've been in real estate sales for 13 years. And RD Real Estate is a company that I started 3 years ago, and we're an independent boutique real estate sales company. It helps people buy and sell here in South and Central New Jersey, all the way down to the shore. We had a meeting earlier today. Maybe we're getting a listing in Atlantic City. It's almost $1 million property, so be on the lookout for that. I know most of you guys here for the Kenyan stuff, but sometimes it's good for you guys to know a little bit of my background. I was on the Coffee Pump podcast. Let me go to that. So actually, the conversation really wasn't that much around real estate. It was more, there are people, because I don't talk about myself all that much. If you guys want to know more about me, you can check out some of the other media. I don't really talk about myself that much, so you can learn about me on other people's channels. Actually, here's the episode. Actually, I was hoping we'd get more views on this one because some of these other guys are beating me. But it was a really cool conversation. Super cool guy. If you want to start learning about Kenya and not just current events, but just I watch a lot of Kenyan content to understand the culture and people and different groups, and I can understand slang and the internal jokes and stuff like that to be more integrated. So definitely recommend Coffee Pump Podcast. Super cool conversation. Check it out. I probably should drop the link, but my level of streaming isn't that good, so I'd have to stop and do all that. Okay, let's see what the comments are doing. Ready for the World Cup? I'm thinking about doing a World Cup party at my house. I have this really cool. I have a pool and all that stuff, so I can. I love hosting. Nairobi giving you gray hair. Yo, I looked in the mirror the other day. I'm like an all natural kind of guy, but man, it's too gray. I'm looking extra old. Oh, you guys are fine in South Africa. Okay. I wanted to go to Cape Town. That was part of the plan, but I ended up not going. Also, I was supposed to go to Ethiopia. I didn't go to there either. I did make it to the coast, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Coming back to the USA gave him gray hair on the flight. Luckily enough, I didn't have anyone sitting next to me on the flight, and I'm not rich enough to take first class, so I was very appreciative of that. I've slept the whole flight. It was the best flight I ever had. I fly to London and then I fly to Philadelphia. They're like 7 and 8 hours apiece. The best travel experience I've had. Are they real estate? Who are you shilling for? Just kidding, man. Have learned a lot about MBA. This is my company, so I'm shilling for myself. Is that still shilling? Gosh. Nairobi sun discoloring your beard. Yeah, man, I'm getting gray. Honestly, this trip was a big work trip. And so let's show you guys a little bit of you know, man, between content and building the real estate company, which I was very scared because I'm scared of you guys. You know, these internet people selling services don't have a good track record. So when we have soft launched the company, I've been terrified that we have to do a good job. I think we've done good so far, but I've been scared. So I've been working very, 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 very hard to make sure that the service is good. I think I definitely done the best I could. And we're still operating, of course, but I'm here in the U.S. now. So um, we got the team that we got, and we're rolling with our team. So if you guys don't know, here is Almasi Realty. Almasi means diamond in Swahili, so that's why the logo's like that. And shout out to me for making the whole podcast. I mean, shout out to me for making this whole website. And I don't really even know how to do websites, but I figured it out. And one of the things I want to point out is our search is pretty good. Okay. If you are looking for resales, you can search for resales. If you want to look in a certain county, which I mean, most of our stuff's in Nairobi, but you can also search by area. And like if you just want to see what's in Riverside, you can click that and you'll only see the Riverside properties. You can even search by developer. So one thing that I advise people a lot about is buying the developer. Buy with, like, especially many of you guys are a little bit worried about the risks. And I think one of the best things you can do is buy from developers that you really think are good. That's where Almasi comes in, and we can advise you and tell you what we think about the developers. Occupancy timeline. So if you need something completing in a certain amount of time, you can search that way, and you can layer these searches on top of each other. I don't really recommend using bedrooms and all that because when you're looking at the off plan, they're not sorted that way. But if you're looking for a resale property, you can. And then, of course, price for your budget. One big thing that we want to talk about is I finally made my way. Hold on. Where I need to put me on the screen, huh? How do I put me on the screen? I want to be down here. Oh, there I am. Okay. Ebony Stays in Diani. We did a whole video that you guys should check out. It's on the channel. I love Diani. Okay, so 2 years ago I went to Mombasa and I booked it for like a week and then I left early because it was boring and I didn't really like it. And I didn't like the place I was staying. I didn't like the environment. They say go to Niali. I was in Niali. I didn't notice. I don't know. It wasn't for me. At least maybe I got to go back with like people that really know what's going on. So it gave me a bad impression of the coast. Um, but the people at Ebony Stays had me come out. I actually stayed there, and they gave me basically a real estate tour of other properties, educating me on the market, but also they're looking to sell their property. And so the cool thing is the developer is a small developer that she likes to build these projects, stay there for a while, and enjoy it, and then move on to the next project. So that's what she's done with this. The cool thing is that it's two different buildings, but it's kind of like multiple structures. It has over 10 actual bedrooms between all the buildings. And it is subdivided, so you can actually buy one side or the other if you wanted to, or maybe you buy one side for yourself, rent out the other side. Very functional. It's like buying your own like small hotel resort type of idea. Um, I don't want to go through all the pictures. Has a pool, has a lot of things going on. It's really good for Airbnb because of all the options that you have. And it's one row off of the beach, so it's on the second line. And Diani Beach was much better than Mombasa. These are actual drone photos that we took. We brought our video team out there to do all the video content. Let me show you some inside stuff. I don't know why it clicked off. So all the bedrooms kind of look pretty much the same. And then there's just a whole bunch of different units. This is a 2-bedroom, but the other bedroom is actually has an exterior door to it. So you can rent it out separately if you wanted to. There's kitchens outside, there's kitchens inside. You could have it catered or have like a chef that deals with the people. You could have someone pick them up for the airport. You could really run like a whole business from this place. That's what I found the most interesting. And the way that it's designed is very a good use of space because it feels pretty big, but it's still actually um, a little more than a quarter acre. So here's the outdoor kitchen, super cool. Every bedroom has a bathroom and a shower. So again, you could, rent to a whole bunch of different people, different groups, one group, retreats, business stuff, business travelers, there's all kinds of stuff. And generally, I just really enjoyed Diani. Um, Actually, for this listing, we have a lot of stuff listed. We actually even have a prospectus for investors because the developer, she's kind of tired of doing property management. So she just rents it occasionally. So we don't have hard numbers on the rentals, but you can download our perspective on what it should rent for. If you're a shrewd investor, you could actually really check this out. And then here's the video. I like this thumbnail, by the way. Um, and you can request more information. Let us know if you guys are interested. We're helping facilitate the sale of this property. So if you do know anybody, it's listed for everything. It's 85 million. But there is an option to subdivide and buy one side or the other. So that's a bit negotiable as far as price. But each side is a little bit different. So you'd have to inquire about that. But overall, oh, sorry, I'm trying to close this. Overall, I really like Diani. I shouldn't tell people this, but I'll tell you guys this, is that um, one of the things that I would like to do is get into some development. And uh, my plan to get into that would be to buy, say, maybe an acre and build a house with our own budget as a show house, and then have some other lots that we could then sell off plan that will build for someone that wanted to buy it. But I want to make a product so that you guys could see where you're buying first. I wouldn't want to just do off plan because I want to do all the struggling and making mistakes on the first one so that when we get to the other properties, we'll have everything sorted out because construction's hard. And then doing construction in Kenya, very, very challenging. So Diani might be the place that we do that if we can locate some land. I think I'm still a year or two out from that. Depends on how we do with everything else. And I just want to build to a higher standard. Even the better build qualities, to be honest, is not to my standard. I would build to the build standard that I've done in the US with some of our flips and everything. I think we can kind of change the game, elevate the level, and increase the quality of the housing inventory, especially if you're right by the beach. You want to be staying in a nice place. And some of these places, like they're fine, but I don't know. I want some more luxury with it. So that's kind of something that's going to happen in the future. Let's see. Almasi is now Artie. No, Almasi is in Kenya. Artie is here in the U.S. I was going to name them the same thing, but naming businesses in Kenya is hard because you need a very unique name. So to get registered under Artie was impossible. Get a Twitter X account. I don't like Instagram. I don't know. I can't manage all these pages. Go to the off-plan resale section. Oh, okay, hold on. Wait, but see, I didn't update the page. I'm sorry. Um, let's pull that up though. That's true. So if we go to resale, that's a good point. See, Mr. Willis Wilson. Actually, see, I'm doing a bad job, to be honest, because we were supposed to update this. There's two things I wanted to talk about. You guys see, we have some Emerald Springs resales. This is a one bed, 58 square meters, 10 million. So when you guys are thinking about getting immediate, like ready-made stuff, the buyer of this paid around 7. So Emerald Springs isn't even completed until December, I don't think. And so that's a 3 million markup already. We're going to talk about this land as well. This is in Syokimau. It's 11.3 acres. We have the title deed information and stuff for this. So this is a reviewed listing. It's not Almasi verified. We haven't gone out there and done anything, but we do have like the legal side verified. And it's this whole big triangle thing. Very interesting property, but this is really for a developer because it's about 18 million per acre, and the total is 203 million. If you're a developer or something like that, check it out because, interestingly enough, in Syokimau, which they have the benefit of the expressway, they're also getting a SGR terminus that the SGR eventually will be going to. Oh gosh. Where's it going? Kasumu? I think so. It's going to Kasumu. So being a train stop, SGR stop, and having the expressway, Syokimau is primed for future development, I think. So if you're interested in that, hit us up. I don't want to be doing too much selling though, guys. I just want to have fun. But we have Mr. Willis Wilson. This is an American owner. He bought this property in Kilimani, top floor, 2-bedroom apartment. We have to upload the photos. I have the photos of the actual unit. 12.5 million. They changed the name. It's actually going to be Super Gardens. We've been there. We verified everything. And we'll be updating this listing to Almasi Verified since we have everything about this project. And yeah, if you want the top floor, 2-bedroom, immediate occupancy, not too bad at 12.5. So that's what we have. Okay, enough selling. Let us know if you guys are interested. Go on our page. If you hit the inquiry, we'll reach out to you. Hi, Ryan. I'm interested in getting some information about purchasing at the Diplomat. How can I find out when units become available with other people? You got to reach out to us. Go to Mossy Realty, fill out the buy form. Let me know who you are and all that. Because at the Diplomat, what's happening is almost all the best units are sold. Sometimes bookings come available, and we're in communication with their sales team every day to try to get our clients the best units available. So if you're interested in buying there, let us know. Now, what you should do is let me know what type of unit you want and where. Don't even say the A street side because it's impossible. There's courtyard units available, and then there's units available on the back side that are 52 square meters. The problem is I'm a little worried about development coming up there and blocking your view, so you have to be careful. There's a couple good 2-bedroom units available, but the pickings are slim. This is why you have to get in early and be decisive. Um, but yeah, hit us up, almasirealty.com, and we have a whole group. We have a WhatsApp group that I put things in there sometimes when good stuff comes available as well. Foreigners don't purchase property in Uganda or Tanzania. No rule of law there, and foreigners finding out the hard way getting dispossessed. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I don't know Uganda that much, and Tanzania very uninvestable to me. I know people like Zanzibar, but their government being in favor of like communism and stuff, I feel like they can just take your stuff if they want to. Very worried about it. A Mosley site is doing something no Kenyan real estate sites are doing. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're just, th- as a business, the conclusion that a lot of Kenyan real estate business people have come to is like they want to hide the information so that you have to go to them. And what we're trying to do is democratize the information and trust that you'll come to us because you think that you can trust us and we'll do a good job. So it's a little bit more on faith. And so we want to provide as much transparency so that people can make better decisions. And that's one of the core ethos and core principles that we're trying to do. So I appreciate that. I know the website's not perfect. The about section is empty, actually. I haven't filled that out. I wanted to get some photos of the other team members and stuff. Remember, we're still a little bit on a soft launch because I wasn't sure the reaction, but actually we've done way more than I expected. I've done way more work than I expected to do, but and this goes into my talk about coming back to the U.S. But everything I'm doing in Kenya feels very purposeful, and that goes really deep. I'll get deep into it after we talk about these comments. ALX, I was thinking a lot about this type of development, Ebony, buying land in the coast, building holiday homes as opposed to those apartments in Westlands. Well, the land is cheaper. Trying to do anything in Nairobi is very expensive. The issue like Navasha and Yuki, I feel like Diani, I like Diani because it could be really a really big international um, vacation destination. And so if you build a really high end property there, um, I think it'll do well. And the land cost is still cheaper than Nairobi. Also, if you're from Europe and you want to go to the Kenyan coast, or you want to invest in the Kenyan coast or buy a vacation home there, very unlikely that you're going to build it yourself, meaning that there's a lot of opportunity for someone to build these type of buildings or developments and then sell them to anybody. It could be Kenyan buyers or international, but I feel like there could be a lot of international purchasing there because, again, if you live in Germany, how are you going to come and figure out construction in Kenya to build your own house? Like you would have that would have to be like a hobby or something that you like to do versus someone that just wants an actual beach house in Kenya. It's not they'll be willing to pay a high margin for that. The Diane video was great. Love the developer, not stingy with the info. Next time, make it weird. Yeah, we'll make our way to North Coast. I don't know about Lamu because that's really far north. I ain't trying to get kidnapped. I don't, I know it's low probability, but Watamu, yes, you are right. Diani can get boring. Niali gives you more access to the city. Yeah, but what's in the city in Mombasa? and still not far from. Yeah, that's true. I was thinking of doing something on the coast as well, maybe up the coast more. Yeah. Well, we have another land uh, sale at the coast, Kikambala. I should show you guys that. Let me pull it up. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, I don't like that one. Do this one. So we have Second Row Beach Plot. This is technically North Coast, but actually it's only about 45 minutes drive north of Mombasa. And quarter acre. Here's some of the pictures. So you can build something here. Pictures a bit limited. So for this coast stuff, like the seller would have to accommodate us to come out there and do our marketing. So with the other place where we did the video, they covered our travel costs to come out there. So that's why that's marketed the way it is. This one they just provided the information, and we do get the title deed. We don't do like a full deed search, so there is some like research that you would have to do as far as like due diligence. But we have done partial due diligence on these properties where we're comfortable listing them. But yeah, this one is also a quarter acre, and it's 6.85 mil. North Coast. So, I and here's another thing that well, we have a whole map search. So all of our listings, you can actually like go around and see where the listings are on the map. And so this is the location for this in Kikambala, which is north of Mombasa. If we go out, there's Machwapa, which is the town, and then Mombasa's right here. This is about maybe an hour drive up the main road. So this is another opportunity. Like for example, if you wanted to try some development, you could build something like Ebony Stays right here, and you would get the land for 7 million, and then you could build whatever you want. You could build a bunch of houses, hotel style, or just like a really luxury property, and then you're walking distance to the beach. Sorry guys, I'm not trying to do an infomercial or anything, but I did want to talk about some of the listings that we have. And I guess since we're talking about that, this is another feature for the website that I think is really helpful. I advise a lot of you guys to utilize this when you're doing your research about coming to Kenya. Our map search feature shows the different projects. So like here's like Karura Forest, and this is still Westlands. There's a project Forest One coming up, so you can actually see kind of where they are. You can zoom in. You can get more information about that project. You come down here. This is Magotio Road. That's Oak West. Here's Morvara. Luminar is over here. This one's Luminar. There's Luminar. Luminar has become our next favorite from the Diplomat. So if you're missing out on the Diplomat and want like a hotel style Westlands property, we like Luminar. Also, Oak West is really nice. The Oaks do a really good job. If like quality's your number one thing, Oak West and Luminar are really good options. This is Luck and Ivy. So if you want to like understand where things are, you can kind of educate yourself. Like this is the other side of Westland. So you have Marina Bay, you have Galaxy One. Oh yeah, there's Galaxy One. This is Sports Road, and then you have Raptor Road. So this area is more residential part of Westlands versus this side, which has all the malls and all the attractions. There's Hefe Palace, good location as well. So you can really educate yourself on here. Okay. As a foreigner, would you still build to own even if your land is leasehold? There's things that you can do. You can have a Kenyan company that could own the land freehold. So I think the leasehold freehold thing's a little over worried about, but I do understand the concern. And as much conversation as I have about leasehold freehold, I don't think they've ever like taken the property on the lease renewal time either. So there's not much of a precedent for that. But again, I understand you don't want to invest a whole bunch of money and the government later just says, okay, your lease is over, it goes back to us. I don't think that's very realistic in most cases, but you know, things change, governments change. I don't know. I don't want to dismiss the concern, but the concern is super high. I don't know if it needs to be super high. I wonder all these developments in construction stage, how many actually get completed with handover documents? All the ones that we're covering will definitely be completed. That Mombasa area, Niali, etc., comes with more risk than Nairobi. There's much more malaria and about 350 gangs robbing with machetes. Okay. Just got here. Sasa, Ryan in chat. Oh, Paula. Thank you. American Ninja member. Shout out to our members. Makes me think content. Lots of members only content. I've invested in some mutual funds in Kenya. I have a trust. I have a trust wealth management firm. I got some quarterly results from the wealth management. I'll be releasing all the real information. I am not promoting this stuff. I'm just exposing you guys to it. And my investment strategy is to test it and see how it goes. Hopefully, nothing bad happens. I don't get scammed. I don't lose anything. I am the guinea pig, I guess, but you guys can follow the journey. I'll be I give real numbers and everything in the members. Bunch of videos are coming out about that. I also owe you guys many should you buy videos for the members only for the projects that we have covered, but I haven't made should you buy videos. If you're new to the channel, a lot of the content, we're just showing you the project. I don't give them that much pushback about things. But if you want to know what I really think about these projects, if you remember, every project video comes with a should you buy video that gives my real thoughts about it. So you can get a lot of value from that. But also, if you're working with Almasi Realty, you'll get access to that information for free with our consultation because you'll be consulting with me as I'm still training our team to get on the level of being able to give that high level consultation. Can we establish a retirement community somewhere in the coastal region? Yeah, you sure can. What's going on, Abdullah? Al, I remember you. Yes, what a crazy thing to meet people at the airport. What's going on, man? How are you? How about Raqqa? Can you tour Raqqa? Yeah, we could find some stuff in Raqqa. I don't know of any like high profile things, but that is becoming a popular satellite town of Nairobi. Have you looked at Vipingo in Kilifi? I haven't been to Kilifi yet, but yeah, I'm gonna get out there. Also, land there is much cheaper than in Diani. Yeah, I have to cover North Coast for sure. Generally, I'm waiting for someone to invite us out there because I don't like traveling, believe it or not. Oh, but you know what I learned? See, in my mind, it's really a hassle to go to the airport and do the 8,000 security checks and all that stuff. But actually, if you fly from Wilson Airport, which is basically Kilimani, Woodley Estate area, it's much easier. And the flight's only 45 minutes. So, like, the traffic in Nairobi, it would take you longer to go from maybe the bottom of Kilimani to the top of Westlands. You could fly all the way to the coast faster, which is crazy. So it's less of a hassle than I thought it was to travel. So I could see you doing weekends out at the coast, whether it's Diani or Malindi or any of that. Now, the gas prices have made the flights more expensive, unfortunately. Any general thoughts or feelings investing into any of the Savo properties? No, I don't have much thoughts about that. Are they where are they located? The CBD? I'm not sure. I Odiwan, what's going on, man? Uh, s- Tell me where the Savo ones are because I wrote them off when I saw the location. There's a lot of activity around the fort at nighttime in Mombasa. A lot of families, they are out and about. Not a bad price. Yeah, not a bad price for the Kikambala land at 7M. Hi, Ryan. Is this leasehold? It's freehold owned currently, the Kikambala one. They're all freehold. I'm sorry. They're all freehold. Um, but if you're a foreign buyer, you'd have to get your entities situated if you want to buy freehold. A lot of Europeans purchasing property in Nanyuki and Navasha. They're attractive for those who want a bit of land and space. Yeah. Um, I have to go back to Nanyuki. I wasn't really that impressed. And I feel like the price is inflated because it's like the British like to go there. And then when British people are there, apparently everyone thinks it's like really good. I could see the appeal. It's a mild climate and it's very green, but I'm still favoring Caggiato because another thing is I'm thinking I want to build a house for myself, like a really big house, like 6 bedrooms, crazy. I want to go crazy. Um, that's I try to road trip every 2 weeks when I'm in Kenya to go to different counties and different areas. I usually don't do content when I do that, but because I just want to have the experience. Plus, I'm with like a whole bunch of Kenyans. They're not trying to be all up in the videos. Especially because the kind of people I go with, like the wealth management people, I go with lawyers and all that, so they're kind of private. So I don't really do content, but we always plan road trips. Would you at some point cover the actual ROI numbers? Kenyan real estate agents just yap about. Yeah. The reason why I can do ROI for unfurnished, but once you get into furnished or Airbnb, I feel like your numbers are quite worthless because how do people really know what they're going for? What I will be doing is this is another video. It'll be in members only. I think I've been renting my first property I bought for a year now. So I'm going to talk about everything that went on with that and the actual numbers and receipts for that. When the Diplomat's done, I will be doing Airbnb with the Diplomat properties that I have. And so I'll be sharing that information in members only. So I'll be giving real data, but I don't like, like the wandering investor gives you guys spreadsheets and stuff. I just don't really exactly believe the numbers all the time. So I shy away from that. Yeah. They're not clear because they don't know. Thanks for your response about the leasehold versus freehold. As a foreigner, if I invested 340,000 into land and a property, yeah, I get that. There's ways to structure your entities where you can keep the land freehold, but also again, like the leasehold renewal, I don't think is a big a deal as people think. But I get it. You don't want to gamble 300,000 even if it's on a 99-year lease, you still want to own the property. Vipingo is like a high-end golf estate, very beautiful. Uh, you know, going to Diani and staying at Ebony Stays changed my mind a lot about the coast. So yeah, I need to do more at the coast, and the hassle of getting there actually isn't that bad. That's what was keeping me from doing the traveling. Yeah, I like Kalifi. Yeah, I need to get to Kalifi because the land is even cheaper at Kalifi, Malindi, Watamu, those type of areas. So we'll really have to see. But I could see, I really liked the lifestyle that I could see you having in Diani. It's chill, but there were a lot of like really dope beachfront restaurant, resort, hotel type places that you could go vibe out at, different restaurants. There's still Carrefour, there's Shandarana. Those are two supermarkets. So you have access to everything, but you're in a chill beach town. It was pretty cool. I was there off season, so there wasn't much going on. So I could see how it gets boring, but it just depends on the person, right? I know well off friends who like the retire area between Mombasa and Kilifi. Yeah. That's the Kikambala Machwapa area. Savo properties are very cheaply built. Only heard bad things about them. You can get a one bed for 1.9. Gosh. I usually don't cover stuff like that too much, guys. Actually, um, 300 Woodley Village. Is that video out? I have to look. We actually just covered a property. Is it crazy that I don't know when my own videos come out? I just once I set it up, that's it, you know. Oh, when is this coming out? June 6th. Okay, so we covered a project that the studio, which is very small, sells for 2.5 million, and it's basically Kilimani, but technically it's in Woodley Estate. Actually watched a documentary about Woodley Estate, which was really cool. Um, and the 3 bedrooms, I believe, are 6.5 million. Well, I definitely need to do a should you buy video about that because I had some reservations about like the developer and the sales office and them knowing what the heck they're doing or talking about. But for someone that wants to try like a really cheap investment, the location is great. And you that would give you exposure to like the local rental market because the rent for like the small studio is probably 15 to 20,000 Kenyan shillings, which would provide um, someone to be able to live close to the city for a locally affordable price, which I think is cool for investors or someone that wants to buy, a property there. Sorry, I'm trying to log into my stuff. But yeah, I think it would provide it's an interesting project to look into, but with some reservations. That video, if you're in members, you've already been able to see the video. If you're not in members, you have to wait till June 6th. What other content do we have? That's the only one coming out, but there's like 5 other videos I'm going to make. I'm going to make the one about my first rental property, a year of the return on investment, the issues I've had or not had, and how I feel about the building maintenance, all that kind of stuff. Um, I invested with a capital markets company in Kenya, and then I have a trust that does wealth management as well, and so I have some quarterly results to talk about with that. And then we have all the should you buy videos about all the projects that we haven't covered. Another point of order: Amethyst. One of the better developers is in a court case uh, for that potential for their site there. So they have been unable to start their construction. So just a tip, guys, like if you see an area that doesn't have developments, there may be reasons why, because the community can sue and fight them. And then, I was talking to the developers about this. There's not much of a way for them to avoid this issue because even if they get the approvals, NEMA approval, the NCA approval, I believe it is, and all that, they could still face a lawsuit and get tied up in court, and then they'll be put on hold. Wonder Properties has a property like that called Alina Valley. Alina Valley was supposed to finish before Alina Harbor, and they basically are not even able to do construction on it for over a couple of years. Meanwhile, Alina Harbor has been completed, and Alina Valley was listed or started before them. So because when you don't see apartments in an area, sometimes the community around them has been fighting them. So, for example, Belgravia, gosh, we'll talk about Belgravia later because there's some other things I want to talk about, but we'll talk about it. All right. More comments. Just learning about the homeland. Yes, Caggiato building from scratch. Yeah, there's not a lot there. I kind of like that. I'm kind of into that, and I kind of want to keep animals and stuff. So it still appeals to me, and the land prices seems good. Is it just me, or I can't hear you? The volume is low. Is it low? I feel like I'm loud in my own headphones, but that doesn't mean it's loud. So if anyone else is having volume problems, let me know. Who cares about freehold? You'll be yeah, but people want to give the land to their legacy and kids and all that. Bought 5 acres in Malindi last year for 3,800. Yeah, see, that's pretty cool, right? Now, the thing is, like, you can get something cheap, but is it good, like where it is, So that's why I'm a little cautious. And I'm expanding slowly and learning about the different areas, especially the coast. But now the coast has become quite interesting to me. Can you give me your plans for time Kenya versus New Jersey? What do you mean? Time? For time? What do you mean? Your favorite guy's Haas has a very interesting looking off plan project, which is an extension of Inaki. Oh, Red Hill is a great location, but they don't talk to me. I don't deal with them. Sorry, I don't know. And they charge too much. Are you planning to buy land to grow crops? I don't. The only crop that I would think about doing is avocado. But if I do that, I would have to be in Moronga County, Laikipia, Meru. Some that area is known for avocado, I think. But that land is expensive, so I don't know. And really, I'm not really doing this stuff to make money more than I don't know. Man, you only live once, and I'm really stimulated by learning new things, doing new things. Um, and I don't know, the older you get, like, I want to be around animals, I want to be around nature. Not that I don't want to be around people, but I don't know. It's a little romanticized to me. Maybe I'll get over it, but that's just how I'm feeling. I stayed in one of Savo's buildings, the second one they built. It definitely cheaply built, but you get what you pay for. That's true. So it's fine if something's priced cheap and is made cheaply. That's not a problem. Mr. America. Hi, Ryan. Do you know any reputable local building company focusing on building single family homes? What's your opinion on natural building stones versus cement blocks? I don't know any companies. I've reached out to a couple, but they haven't engaged with me. I was gonna do like some vlogs with them and have them show me like stuff they built, but they haven't taken up my offer yet. Um, Again, kind of like with the property management of my own property, I always resort to I'll do it myself. So in my mind, yes, we would get an architect and maybe a building manager, but I'd also I'm trying to get my friend Otis, who's in here right now. Uh, I don't know if I can convince him to come to Kenya to figure out the building process, but I don't like the local methods of building. So, for example, the building stones, I don't like how they look. I don't like the integrity of how they're together. I don't like the sand to cement mix that I see them mixing them with. They're not level. I don't like that. I've never seen proper cement blocks in Kenya. Actually, talk about a business opportunity. Somebody needs to come do precast concrete. And if you guys don't, if I find time, I'm going to do a business of making proper precast concrete cement blocks. See, this is the thing. I got to bring my friends from the US because once you guys see the opportunities, like, because if you do good execution, you could do really well. And it will elevate the building quality. It'll elevate so many things, but by bringing some of these skills and approaches. Sovereign real estate targets students and guys starting out life. Most graduates expect rooftop parties, weed smoking, and lots of noise. Okay. If you were to build a home, how big and nice do you think $300,000 would get you? Also, you do consultations. Yes, I do consultations, but don't consult with me about construction because in Kenya I don't have the resources yet for that. But as far as like buying apartments, yes. But if you want to get beyond that, I don't think you should pay me for advice on. I try to stick with things that I've done. So let me know what you'd be interested in talking about first. You would get so just 300,000 for like the building. You would have a mansion, like real like a massive, like 300,000 would be crazy because people are building very big properties for maybe 150. So if you're adding it, like, that's crazy. That's definitely what Caggiato gets very dry and dusty. Well, what if you have a borehole in irrigation? Plus, I'm not saying like far south Caggiato. I'm talking Kasarian, Kimuka, or maybe towards Namanga. I don't know. I like Kilimani and Lavington personally. Enjoy Raraka area. Yeah, like it's funny. We always advise for Westlands for like income investors, but personally, I like Lavington the best. Kilimani in certain parts are good, not central Kilimani, and then yeah, obviously near Village Market is nice. I thought about making the Selena blocks 30K for the machine in China can make thousands of blocks a day. Yeah, but like, see, you don't even need like the big machine. You could just have forms. You could do it very cheaply at first. Like, you don't have to do a huge investment. You could just rent a lot and have some concrete forms to build your cinder blocks or whatever type of things. So you could make sewer culverins, all that kind of stuff. I think if you had a track record for consistency and good products, you'd be able to sell them. Because the level of construction is increasing. There's lots of companies which do precast concrete in Kenya somewhere on YouTube. Well, where I don't see their products, or if I do, they're not good because what's going on. If you're talking about the precast walls for buildings, I have seen those. But like, why don't we see proper cinder blocks? Why are they using these rocks? These natural rocks that are all jacked up. That makes it impossible to make a proper wall. The place in Niali is going to be a convenient location to do other things in the area for myself. Yeah. Lucy, hi. How are you? What wait. No, I missed the moment. I missed it.
What's up, baby?
I'm not used to my soundboard anymore. It's been a while since I got to catch a lot because I haven't had them. What's going on? Rich's method would expatriate. I can't see the chat. Maybe I exit and return. Yeah, there's something going on. Woo! All right. Reverse culture shock. That seems a little dramatic, actually, but um, hmm. One thing about coming back to the US that I do like is I can drive my car around. Like today, I can get around and go places, and it's much faster. Kenya, everything is a hassle. There's a gate guard. You got to pay to leave, security, random traffic, there's a lot of inconveniences going from place to place in Nairobi. Parking. Ugh. Now cities are like that. I'm in the suburbs, so it's not exactly a great comparison. But I can go to a bunch of different stores. I can do all that stuff without hassle. That's probably one of the things that I notice right away. That being said, in Kenya, I can just order something and it comes right to me. But sometimes I like to go out. It's like the first thought I have is something simple like that. Would Kilauea be a good place for an expat considering Belgravia? I think Belgravia is one of the best products in the market. Uh, I think Kilauea is better to stay long term if it's a better long term type of place instead of like Westlands is like the money center. Kilauea is a little bit more chill. Honestly, see, guys, I have all these plans, and so if I keep buying apartments, I can't do these other plans because I'm not made of money. But if I was gonna buy a place, I would buy the 2 bedroom with mini studio at Belgravia because price per square meter they are higher than most of the market. But when you see the plans, actually, um, they just provided more renders and they provided some render videos and also the waterfall ground level to mezzanine floor plan with the restaurant and the open courtyard and the greenery is really my favorite thing. I feel like living there will feel so nice because of the environment that's created, which is rare in an apartment building. And that's the thing that I like about the Hans group, Jonas and Mona, especially Jonas, like the way that he designs these buildings is just a higher level of thoughtfulness and Jonas really likes Kenya and Nairobi and he always talks about the greenery. So he always incorporates the greenery as much as possible in the project, which many of the other Chinese developers just I feel like they build their buildings based off of spreadsheets, and they don't like you could place their building anywhere and it would be the same. He kind of builds it for the environment, and so that's why I really like that. Um, but yeah, Kilauea is a good place to live long term. If you're just traveling or doing like an income investment, I still recommend Westlands. I would recommend the Diplomat, but very well sold there, a little bit hard, and they're raising their prices at the end of the next week or 2 weeks or something like that. I meant how you split time between New Jersey and Kenya. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, I want Belgravia real bad. I need that 2 bedroom. Like, I really do want that. But I want to build a house, and I want to do a development like a spec home that we resell. So I need a lot of money, and if I spend the 2 bedroom there is like 16 million, so it is kind of high. But ah, man, I do want that. I may regret it because actually we've had a lot of clients um, reserve some of the top floors already, and I would love to have a top floor, either facing the greenery or the city. Oh no, it's actually one of the worst things because there's a lot of dope projects that I go to, and I'm like, dang, I wish I had this. Belgravia is like that. Luminar is like that, and Amethyst is like that. Although they're in their legal battle now. Um, Brookside Oak, really, I feel like those are Pandora. It, I I really should have bought a 2 bedroom at Pandora. The people that bought 2 bedrooms at Pandora have made so much value already because they sold out really fast and man, what did they pay? It's probably close to almost double in price. Like if you were to resell it right now, you someone would buy it for a lot more than what you booked it for. Do you focus on Nairobi or have you explored other towns or cities? I'm split between the coast. Yeah, we talked about the closed coast a little bit earlier. So I would go back, but yeah, mostly Nairobi. But I am expanding my knowledge outside of to the counties, and we covered some stuff at the coast. We have some land for sale at the coast, and then we have um, some income properties at the coast that we have listed on the website. U.S. real estate investor here expanded from apartments into tool rentals to fill a massive market gap. The return on investment is significantly faster. Yeah, like see, this is why I haven't bought Belgravia because if I didn't have all these other ideas, I probably would have bought it already. I would love to get like an excavator and build roads and do like I don't know. I feel like there's a lot I could do with a backhoe and an excavator or bulldozer type thing. 16M is pretty high. Yeah, it is pretty high. But you're also getting a studio apartment with the with the higher priced ones, which I think is useful. What's some top African cities for real estate? I've only been to Nairobi, Kenya, and Mombasa in Africa, so I can't really say. All right, how do I split my time? Culture shock. Let's get into it. Um, I so for people that don't know that much about me, I have the real estate brokerage here that I started 3 years ago. That, if I'm being honest, I feel bad, like I've left people behind, and we were growing pretty good, but like it took a lot of effort from me, and it started feeling forced. The real estate market is in like a 50-year low for sales. So we're like fighting a really uphill battle. We were getting some W's, but also some L's. So we had agents come in. Some I put a lot of effort into developing, and then they end up leaving. And it's fine that they leave, but then some of the ways that they ended up leaving the company just like was a gut punch to me personally. I, they say don't take business personal, but my life, like, if I wasn't doing business related things, I don't know what I would do with my time. So what I find is, like, when I think about myself, business is kind of my life at some degree, and I'm not saying like hustle, 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 but like if I had $1 billion, I would still do business, and it wouldn't be to make money, but I think anything that you do needs to be economically sustainable for it to make sense. And so I would try to figure out, you know, businesses to do that can benefit people wherever, however you do it. But it also has to make money, just because it won't last forever if it's not making money, right? So, you know, it's tough. I was scaling the business, and then, but I was so it was working, but it was hurting me. I feel like, to be honest, like it. How can I say? Let me turn my mic up and think about. All right, so, oh, that's really loud. That's me procrastinating because I don't know what to say. Like, it I I, I was lacking passion, which I usually never lack, and so I think that's kind of how I came to Kenya a little bit. Is that things are going very good, but I was without a purpose or a mission a little bit, because the real estate market in the US, I would always thrive off of educating and helping people buy like their first house. Like, it wouldn't be that profitable because obviously they're buying a lower price home and you're getting paid a commission. But I always like thrived off of the impact, because that person's going to have a family there, kids, raise their kids, and their financial situation is going to be much better because they were educated about what they're buying. Many people didn't think that they could afford to buy a house, especially in the black community. The education at the time, and the relationship with home ownership isn't the same. And so I found it very effective to share what I was doing. That's always what I try to do, is share like what I'm doing. So I was buying property. I was really, like, it was a good deal. Like, you were crazy to not buy property in 2010 to 2019. If you had bought property in the United States, basically anywhere within those times, as long as you didn't make huge mistakes, you've done really well. And that I've benefited much from that. After 2020, the affordability got so bad that you really had to be quite well off to be able to buy or afford a property. And so I think the combination of the people management, where they're having a hard time with their career, and I'm trying to help them, combined with the type of people that get into real estate, sometimes are watching Selling Sunset and think it's so easy and are not actually committed to put in the work without reward, because it's commission based. So you don't make money. You could work a year and not make money. Like, my first year in real estate, I didn't make any money. But the people I met in the first year ended up working with 2 or 3 of them in the second year. But a lot of people aren't willing to do that. And so I just felt like I'm getting beat up on a bunch of different sides, and I'm not getting like the emotional, purposeful feeling of really helping people. Because now it's mostly well off people that you're helping, and it's few and far between again because it's not many people. And and I remember driving to even further South Jersey to a very far place, and there was like lines outside of every house because it was like a buyer frenzy. And my client had tried to buy like 5 different properties. They followed my advice. They did the best offer possible that they could, and they were outbid. And it kind of felt like being a doctor telling people they have cancer every day, because I had so many clients I was trying to help, but their finances just wouldn't allow them to compete with these properties, and it sucked. Like it sucked. It's not even about the money. It just like it really sucked. Just like the disappointment, the disenfranchisement that a lot of people went through. And so I think what happened was that I ended up in Kenya looking for purpose. I'm getting older. You're thinking about family, having kids, all this kind of stuff. Like, what am I doing? What's the purpose? Because I had a very direct purpose since I was like 18. Like, I knew I wanted to get into real estate. I was using the military as a stepping stone, gain experience, income, um, benefits, and then I was going to do my real estate thing and invest, and I was going to get an IT job because I was in the military for um, computer networking. And then I get out of the military, it's the financial crisis. But I basically had a plan, and so when I was struggling, it the type of struggle that you have when you have a purpose is much different than a struggle that you have when like you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. Like you could struggle a lot if something feels worth it and you have faith or believe in it. I think I lost some faith in 2020 to 2022. The purpose kind of went away. So, and I hope you guys don't mind hearing this. I know a lot of you guys here for like the Kenyan real estate and all that, but I'm building a story. It's going to go somewhere. Um, that's how I ended up finding myself in Kenya. I think I was looking for purpose, not just I wasn't looking for business or anything. I was just looking for, you know, Kenya is a place where people are more attached to people. And that's something that I wanted to learn or adapt more for myself, is slow down and like really pay attention to people more. And then I just happen to be interested in real estate. Anywhere I go, I check the real estate out. And then I put some videos out, and then people found value in them. And it was fun. I was learning. And then I was like, let me try buying a property. Let's see how that goes. Let's see if I get scammed. I don't know. Um, and it it kind of like brought back the purposefulness and energy. So, you fast forward to now with Almasi, with our 2 employees that we hired, I'm with them every day for 3 months, 2 months training, and they're younger. They're Gen Z and technically millennial, but no, they're both Gen Z. Just old, one of them's older Gen Z. She doesn't claim Gen Z, but that felt cool because I think we're having a big impact on the real estate market in a positive way. And then I'm able to hire and pay salaries. And actually, like we pay our employees like a quarterly commission based off of what production we do. And the number is going to be really big. I can't wait to write that check to them. And so, like, that feels very meaningful and purposeful. Like, I think the commission could be a bit of life changing money that they didn't even expect for this opportunity to turn into for them. So now, see, that makes me feel good. Now I'm motivated. So when you guys are calling me from all over the world at time, I'm talking to somebody at like 2 a.m. about Belgravia the other day. I can do that because it feels purposeful. I like it. Because I also know that this person buying has a whole story behind why a lot of your guys are really a lot of people that we dealt with are so cool, interesting stories from all over the world, you know, with different goals, relocating, looking for a better life. Some people are investing. Their home country is hard to invest in. They're looking at other places. They like Kenya. Many people lived in Kenya, haven't been back for 20 years, don't know who to talk to. And it's really cool that they're looking to us to help them. That feels purposeful. And so it's easy to receive a call at 2 a.m. and spend an hour and a half with someone that you feel like you're really helping. And so for me, it's weird to split time because then I come back to the US and a lot of my purpose has moved to to Kenya, So but I have a mission. Like the cool thing about splitting time is I can set some objectives that I have short term, medium term, and long term goals. I usually am a very much long term person, but having a certain amount of time to be somewhere adds purpose because okay, I have these like here at RD Real Estate right now, recruiting is recruiting, but having a like what's our offering to agents? How are we going to help them? Is our objectives coming up with our offering package and recruiting agents. So now I have a purpose when I'm here quite a bit. Also, the fitness. I don't know if you guys know, but I was fat like when I first started doing this, and now I'm not fat, but now I'm trying to get in good shape, and it's a little hard to maintain the fitness journey in Kenya. So when I'm here in the U.S., okay, fitness goes up as a priority. So I think for me, splitting time, those are the good things. The bad things about splitting time is I have two dogs. My mom was staying at my house, dog watching, which she doesn't mind. My house is cool. Um, but my mom actually ended up in the hospital while I was away, and that doesn't feel good. So now I feel like, just with like my business in the US, I feel a little detached. And then when people need help or, my mom was sick, now I feel guilty being away. And then people are helping me with some of my responsibilities, like certain things with my house or certain things. I need someone to drop a check off at an office somewhere. Yes, I could pay them. But it's hard to have one foot in both sides because now in Kenya, there's things going on that would be better if I was there, especially with you guys. All you guys want to meet me. Everyone wants me to personally take them to properties. That becomes difficult. So splitting time, there's benefits, but there's also some costs. But it's not like the ticket, like to take your pets to Kenya, they have to fly as cargo. You need vet certifications, all this stuff. The service per dog was like $1,200 to $1,400. So for me to bring my dogs will be really hard, and they're older. One of my dogs is deaf, um, so I feel like almost like a parent leaving your kids behind. That seems like not a good thing to do. I have that's like a really challenging thing for me personally. I know if you don't have pets, you probably don't get it, but um, that makes it hard. Uh, I'm like actually now I'm on this whole kick of getting my house. I have a single family home. Single family homes have a lot of maintenance. I have a pool. I have all kinds of stuff going on. So you got to like make your house maintenance free or less maintenance. So that sucks. So yeah, that's me on splitting time. Hopefully that wasn't boring to everybody. Um, Having a penthouse adds a lot of value to your portfolio. Yes, it does. Although, don't buy the top floor because imagine you're on the top floor under the paddle court. I also want it Belgravia, but you need a car there. At Luminari, you have. Why would you need a car? You just Uber. At Luminari, you have 3 shopping centers at walking distance, but from Wellness Point, if you want to avoid paying Gaia prices. Um, I don't get the. Here's the thing, guys. Um, Maybe you like to go to the store, but you can just order things and they come to you within like 2 hours. So, like the lifestyle I live, I was in Kenya for 5 months. I barely went to the store ever. The only time I go to the store is if I want to go to the mall and hang out. So, proximity to stores is maybe a bit overrated, in my opinion. But see, this is the thing. Like, we have a certain mindset coming from where we're coming from. Like, for example, in Kenya, most people have house help and stuff like that. So they look at certain things much differently than we may. And so if you're going to be in Kenya, you may have to adapt to some of those things. Now, if you want to go to the store and want that convenience or walk there, I get it. But personally, I don't for my lifestyle, it doesn't rate. But that's why we consult about this stuff cuz maybe you like the walk to the store. So if you like the walk to the store, then yes, by all means, um, Luminar, Diplomat, these kind of places. What about the NSSF Towers project? I don't know that one. I have been to Johannesburg 2 times, and I can say the culture feels cold, and of course, the country has security issues. This is why I'm investing in Kenya. That South Africa money is going to go somewhere. And South Africa has been like, if you just talk to a random person, they would probably think South Africa is the best to buy or invest because of the country and the stability and the history of stability or whatever. Uh, in the next 10 years, I think Kenya, Ethiopia are going to be top. I mean, Morocco, I'm not talking North Africa, so maybe Morocco, Egypt, and stuff. But Sub Saharan Africa, Kenya's going to win. Ethiopia probably can win too. Belgravia unit. Hey, $2 super chat.
I like this right here.
Thank you.
Bloody
Appreciate that.
close.
Appreciate that. I abandoned the thought of doing Airbnb in any part of South Africa. Why? Hey Ryan, how's it going? I was wondering, do the condos have backup power and water? I hear that the water, yes, they have backup power and boreholes. Usually, um, you should work with Almasi because it doesn't cost you anything. But if you happen to be looking at properties, you need to specifically ask them, what does the backup generator cover? And this is that East African sales thing that they be doing is they will be very polite and soft spoken about it, but be like, oh, yeah, there's a backup generator. And then you'll say, what does it cover? And then they'll either not know or they'll be like, oh, well, it does the lights. Well, what do you mean the lights? Oh, just the common area lights or inside? You have to keep asking questions because they're going to try to, I don't want to say play stupid, but play stupid and not answer your question fully. Because some of the backup generators at many projects do not power the sockets in your unit. So your lights might work, but your internet's out, your refrigerators stop working and all that. So ask those questions. But if you work with Almasi, we'll make sure because we know how to navigate that stuff. Just looking at Belgravia, 2-bed plus mini studio. That's a nice setup for someone like me. In the diaspora, rent out the main apartment and keep the studio for my own use when I'm around. Yeah, it's cool. You could do it that way. Like even me, I don't know if you have a teenager or a family or something, you can put them over there, the teenager over there, maybe they prefer their own space. You could even rent it out. I got to get more familiar with this house help thing because maybe I'll have like a house person. Maybe I'll get a chef, like a house cleaner slash chef. They can cook. And that the mini studio has its own mini kitchen. So really cool. Best talk ever. Thank you. I felt like the numbers were going down. People were getting bored. But that's some real talk that I was trying to have with you guys. Keep going. The personal story is interesting. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. What's up, MH member?
I like this right here.
This is a
Oh, wrong one. No, wrong one. Gosh,
blood hell.
I'm rusty. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you. You are definitely looking healthier. Hey, thanks. Shout out to GLP drugs. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I'm looking at the 3-bedroom with the studio worth every penny. When Mossy sells my unit, I'll get 3 beds. And oh man, I'm sorry. Honestly, I did a bad job on updating your listing. I want to apologize about that because it should have been done like a month ago. Sorry to hear about mom. Thank you. Ryan, consider taking your mom to yeah, like that guy who has his mother there some of the year that hangs out with Austin. Oh yeah. I should do that. I think. I do think that. I can't say why. I'm a little scared because I can't embarrass my mom like that, but I'm gonna have to watch out for her. I'm like my mom's parent at this. Actually, Drake has a line about that. I have to father my mother. That's a thing. But yeah, I think it would be good. Man, that's like a really big change. Like, I feel like I need her to visit one time, and then I'm like, oh, what do I do with the dogs? Again, if you guys don't have pets, it sounds ridiculous, but I got to do something about that. Cape Town, then you have the rest of Richard's Method. Yeah, the content creator channel, Son of King. But wouldn't want what happened to Coach Bridget while partying at Troy's house happen. Food delivery guy decided to eat their food. Oh my gosh. I've seen her content. It seems like people are having fun with it. I can't be watching all that stuff, but seems interesting. They're out there living their best life. I'm boring, I don't show all my life like that. This is as deep as I go. So Mama got, oh man. I'd have to keep her within my sight. Okay. I've been driving around and I'm very confused driving now. 5 months in Kenya driving on the left side. Now I'm on the right side. I'm a little scared. It is like my brain when I'm turning, when I'm making like a left turn, I have to be like, which way am I going? Where am I? Oh, this lane. Okay. It's not that bad, but and then am I a reckless driver now? Because I had like in Kenya, you just have to fight everybody when you're driving with your car, and you put your car like I'm not respecting the lanes as much. I'm like just going wherever, because most of the time, the lines in Kenya are a little dubious, so you just kind of float. I don't know. The driving is something else. Thank you for the thoughtful response to my question. You answered like you were talking to an old friend. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Especially for members, we try to do our best to answer questions. Again, this all links back to purpose. Like, I don't know. Like, purpose is the most important thing to me. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? I want to accomplish things. So anytime helping people feels good.
Blood hell.
I was talking about the guy that used to be in the music business. Oh, that's Troy. Quick change of topic. I got you. Yeah, I want to bring my mom out, but goodness, I have to keep my eye on her. And all we would do is go to restaurants every day or vibe spots, Oyster Bay. The location got to turn their music down, by the way. Kalamata. We didn't go the whole time I was in Kenya. I didn't go to Alloy. I didn't go to what's the other place? Oh man, I forgot that fast. Sorry. If you're in Kenya, Upepo by Karura Forest is good too. Actually, I went there a couple times though. Cultiva Farm. Daily Cafe at Sarit Center, very good time. Weirdly, Kai and I were there on Valentine's Day, and I didn't know it was Valentine's Day, but then the saxophone player came out. It was a good time, but a little suspicious. But it was an accident, I promise. Also, if you guys didn't watch Kai's video about Luminara, but you see, I try to tell these people, everybody want to do video. It's a lot of work, man. And especially in the beginning, you don't get, no one cared. There's no immediate benefit. I was doing it because it was fun. But, yeah. Oh, how long have we been going? An hour and a half? What else can I talk about as far as coming back? Living in both places is expensive. I have like budgets for Kenya and budgets for the US. Like if I got rid of all of my obligations in the US, my life would be much more chill. Because I still have to pay for my house. I spent a bunch of money on house maintenance. My pool filter is not working right. The inspection to just look at the pool filter and do a test on the lines is like $700. And then it could be like $6,000 to excavate and dig up the line and fix it. I'm like, dang, do I get my shovel out and do it myself or what? That's a big difference between Kenya and the US. Anything labor related, very affordable. But I'm happy to be an American because of the economic situation, you have to develop a lot of skills. So in Kenya, there's a service culture where I feel like people kind of get off when people are serving them. Like they feel like a better person when they can get people to serve them. So like, even if I'm out, let's say with a nice lady, right? If say we want to move our table with a better view or something, you know what I notice that they do? They'll wait for the waitress to pick their stuff up and move it. And when I mean their stuff, I mean a cup and the menu or their drink. Me, I pick my stuff up and I start going over there. And they're like, no, let the waitress do it. But I'm like, I see no value in this. I can just pick my things up and move, and now I'm at the place I want to be, rather than waiting for the waitress, who might take 10, 15 minutes. Why am I waiting for the waitress? But I do think there's this culture where like it's good to be served. And me, I have a military background where like you better be doing like if there's a task, you better be doing it or working on it. I don't know, like I don't like watching people work. Like even if I have the cleaning lady come, I feel a little guilty that they're cleaning behind me. I don't like it. But there's this attitude of service. But what I realize is that if you wait for other people to do things, then you don't develop skills. So I can basically, like, okay, I'm not an expert, but I could fix most things in the house. I could change the brakes on my car if I needed to. I could change the oil. Now, it would take longer than a professional and it wouldn't be as good, but I can do these things. I can fix, if I get a hole in the wall, I can fix the sheetrock. I can diagnose problems. with most things, within the house at it to some level. I feel like a lot of people in Kenya just can hire someone because it's so affordable to do so. And I noticed that is a big difference in like attitude. Even like middle class people in Kenya or even people that don't make that much money usually will have someone that can look after their kids and cook and stuff like that. I think for cooking, to me, I would find value in that because then I would eat better because I usually order when I'm in Kenya basically every day or eat out. And it's more expensive to do that, but also I don't know, I feel like home cooked food is you can eat healthier. That's a big observation I have. And also that life that plays into a lot of other things. So like I'm saying, having different skills and knowing how to do things and stuff. Hold on. I really like Kai, but he's not giving much content. See, it's hard to do this content thing, man. I saw you at the Millionaire Strip Club dancing on the pool. What? It wasn't me. Y'all look like you weren't on a date. Uh, Y'all look like you were. I hope not. My best friend here in the U.S., like, I was at something, and somebody assumed we were a couple because we're always together, and I was like, actually, it happens a lot, so I'm like, oh, whatever. But deep down inside, I'm like, yo, we're not gay, okay? like we'll get lunch, and I'm like, this doesn't look good. I have to tell it we're not gay, we're friends. It's like my brother. Maybe you need a home in Kenya and an apartment in the States. Man, that would be a big. I think I think I've decided to just. I want to put like an in-law suite in the back of my house as a separate building and just leave that as a house. I don't know, a family, because I'll probably always be back and forth. I don't know. I've been really thinking about that. This back and forth thing is very expensive and disrupting, but it's hard to let. It's for me. It's hard to let everything go. Am I really going to let everything go? I like to come back to my house. Like I like the summer here. If I had kids, I would like them to have both experiences as well. I think you would get such a good, well-rounded life experience growing up. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's destabilizing. I'm not sure. But I like the idea of like a family estate that you keep. And so my house is becoming that. That's why I'm spending some money on something I learned in Kenya with I kind of like the walls around your house. So now I want to add like a fence around the front of my house so that my house will be fully gated. I like that. Not the high wall, but at least a fence. And then I have cameras everywhere at my house. So like I could always see what's going on. And if my mom's staying there, it's a little bit safer because now people have to go over your gate. Because I would get like an automated fence that opens, with like a sensors, with like if you have the transponder. Send like you only did 3 months in Nairobi. Am I wrong? Or yeah, I was in Nairobi from January 13th to May 20th. Basically 5 months. Okay, I seen him also. What? Where? Who y'all say? Don't put that on my name. Pandora Panorama West did their showroom for 1 and 2 apartments. It's actually nice. Oh, really? I've been a little skeptical. And now they have Acacia. Okay, let's bring that up. Let's bring that up. Let's bring up Acacia. Hold on, hold on. We got to talk about this. Guys, I realize that not having like a search bar here kind of sucks. Problem is I have not been able to get the search bar to work with the project names. It reverts to the US addressing system, which doesn't work in Kenya. Where is Acacia? Oh, So here it is. For you guys that don't know, Acacia is Pandora, which is A1 Group's new project in Kilimani on Lenana Road next to the Nigerian High Commission. I guess it's technically Hurlingham. I'm sorry, Hurlingham is now Kilimani. It's a service department, but when I got the information, someone had already bought the top 10 floors or something. Strange. And then it's a service department, but when I asked questions about it, I didn't like the answers. So when they initially launched this, or at least when I received the information, the one bedroom service charge was 35,000 Kenyan shillings because it's a service department. And I said, well, because their service means that they're going to rent it for you. They're going to clean it every 2 or 3 days and basically do everything. You're basically just buying like a share of a hotel at that point when you're buying serviced. But what if it doesn't rent that month? I have to pay 35,000 for you guys to do nothing. And what if I'm on the first floor? Are you going to rent mine out last? How is this going to work? And why am I paying so much as a service charge? Right? Like, what? And then the price, they dropped the price already. So what the heck is going on with this project? Looks cool, of course. And no doubt it's going to be nice. Look at that. That's dope. Also, it's in Kilimani. They're going high end, but in Kilimani, Lenana Road, I don't really. I like Kilimani, but I feel like this should be in Westlands for what it is. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe Kilimani becomes more like, because a lot of people do like to stay there. Like even me, I would stay there before I would stay in Westlands. But I no doubts about like the quality. I think like this looks amazing. But when I look on paper, I kind of don't understand. Like so when I look at projects, like I try to understand who it's for and where it fits into the market. And like Diplomat, great location, hotel style, Airbnb all day, income investors. Maybe if you like to be a real city boy and you want one of those, the bigger one bedrooms, you could have bought those, or like Kai, his really nice unit. But really, it's an investment play, pure investment play in my mind. Belgravia, long term, quality, high end concept. People that appreciate the extra quality, appreciate Kenya, appreciate Nairobi, appreciate Kilauea, a little bit out of the way versus like being in the middle of everything, right? That's the person that should buy that. Or renting it. Someone that knows the city and doesn't want to stay in Westlands, but maybe they work somewhere around town where it still makes sense. This project, I don't know the thesis for it. I need it to be explained to me. They dropped the service charge. So see now it's 10,000 and 12,000 for 2 bedroom. They dropped the price. It was I think it was it close to 9, 10 for the 1 bedroom. Now it's 7.75. But this is like a Westlands price. 12, not too bad. You could get Willis Wilson's Super Gardens 2 bedroom top floor for 12 though, and you can get immediate occupancy today. I don't know because the location. See, it's Hurlingham technically, not Kilimani, but I don't. You know, because you got Westlands up here, and now you're in. This is kind of the middle. This is a pretty dense area. You got CJ's, Wood Avenue. It's on the sideline for me for now. It's not mind blowing like Pandora is. I'm sure the quality would be good, but then it's very busy here in Kilimani. I don't know. Uh-oh, somebody's talking about some wife stuff. Don't get me started. What kind of mood am I in today? Are we getting into that? I don't think so. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think about it. I get if you're excited about Pandora to go there. I would have like to be transparent, guys. We could have probably made like $100,000 in commissions at Pandora from the amount of people that bought because of the video, but we weren't set up as a company. And I was thinking in the back of my mind when they release their next project, if it's that good, I hope we can like capture that. And then they came out with this, and I'm like, I don't get it. So I don't know. You tell me your narrative on this purchase or the project because I don't get it. Chevel, that's another one. Riverside looks really cool. All those angles. What does Grosvenor look like? And why would you pay $3 million more for the same thing? Because of why? Tell me why. Because executive suites for the same one bedroom is like $7 million. Why? Like I mean, I could be convinced. Like Belgravia is higher price, but I could see the vision of why you would pay more for there. Chevel, I don't know. Do they have the track record? That's why I'm not sure about getting a house lady. It's very awkward, especially as a woman. Yeah, it's weird, right? I enjoy you and other content creators going to these upscale restaurants. It gives me more places. Oh, dude. If you guys need restaurant recommendations, let me know. I saw a chef who does a weekly meals for folks. I like that idea. Pay for them to get ingredients and they cook. Yeah, but I want all my stuff fresh cooked. Shoot. Because I do that here. I have a Factor. They deliver your stuff. So they cook it. They put it in ice. They send it. You put it in your refrigerator. You can heat it up. I'm getting a real chef if I'm doing that in Nairobi. Have you figured the nuances in Kenya's politics? I don't like to get into the politics on the internet, but I have my thoughts and opinions. Have 2 wives, one in the U.S., one in Kenya. Just 2? It's no longer coming furnished, so the prices are going down. Yeah, so now it's not furnished, but what's up with the service? They threw me off with that. And then why would you radically change your strategy so quickly? Like it's a fail of, you know. It seems like a lack of planning. That's a red flag to me. You know,
Emotional damage.
I don't know. Now I'm concerned. Ryan, do you plan to, after you settle down with a beautiful Kikuyu woman and get married, bring her to America? For a visit, not to stay. We can't stay. You know what happens. I don't know if there'll be Kikuyu. If I had a Kenyan girlfriend, wife, and she was so uppity that she wanted a house lady, she better get ready for me to be taking the cute house lady down. Oh, my God. Oh, shoot. Oh, wait, my sound's not playing. Wait, it's coming. No. I hear my drive trying to play it. Oh, I missed the moment. All right. Yeah, but like the house lady's so affordable. Like this is a problem with dating for especially me. I don't need anything. Like I could just have someone cook and clean. So I wouldn't marry someone so that they can cook and clean. It's cheap. But how can you bring value to my life? I don't know. I know. What do you bring to the table? You're not supposed to ask that. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
City boy, city boy.
What's up, baby? I'm asking you for the answer. It's a question.
How can you add value to my life? I don't know. Or am I just getting a liability? That's what I feel like. Like these ladies just look at you like they just want to become a liability. Why? Why would I do that? It's a joint venture, so A1 not selling all the apartments. It's like the lack of transparency is turning me off. Like who's the joint venture with? Why? What's happening? Tell me. They're being shady. No, thank you. Unsubscribe. Imagine paying another woman to do what your wife should be doing.
City boy,
Oh.
city boy.
Goddamn.
Whoa there.
No way taking
Oh God.
because initially they were going to sell it fully furnished and would maintain it. Okay, but how do you radically change your plan in like a week? I don't get it. I'd personally waited on the next project in Westlands. Yeah, but see, they really turned me off. And honestly, so I didn't make videos to help them sell their project, but we helped them sell their project a lot. And the lack of like respect or appreciation from them is just like, okay. But if I liked the project, I would have still said I liked it. But it like red flags all over the place for me because the whole concept changed. Do you know what you're doing? Are you still a player for life?
City boy, city boy.
It is deviance, therefore we don't want it.
I would love to, having kids is important. Like the baby fever is real, but it's I don't know, man. I don't need anything. Like I don't I can't tolerate you can't add stress to my life. You're supposed to de-stress the life. If you can't de-stress my life, then that's how you could add value. De-stress my life. Help me be organized and more chill. And I don't know. I'm in a poly relationship in Kenya, but I'm single in the US.
Goddamn.
Wow.
I like this right here.
Blood hell.
Whoa there. I like this right here.
A Kalenjin girl will give you marathon runners. Yeah, but with my genes, they'll just be the worst marathon runners versus the other Kalenjins. You know? So if you want a basketball player, you got to get with South Sudanese for sure. Even the South Sudanese ladies are at least as tall as me. I'm like, yeah, I'm 5'11", almost 6 foot. They tall. Very beautiful people, those South Sudanese ladies, though. Yeah, I just had a girl mention like 4 times I should buy her a car. Oh, see, See, I've spent enough. See, when you first come to Kenya, it feels very good, but then you learn the game and it doesn't feel good anymore. Very, very transactional, very like not a like just now I'm a target. I'm good. Ryan's favorite word, honestly. I know, have been saying that a lot. They definitely a liability unless they have a profession. No, but like you don't need a like I don't. It's not money that would be you can add. You know, it's like peace of mind and I don't know. I'm not that organized. Also, like I should be sending people gifts. Like remind me to send people gifts. Like help me with stuff like that. You know, just help me out mentally. I don't, I'm fine, but sometimes I'll be stressed out. A nice lady can talk you out of being stressed. When it's a joint venture, you're fully in control of the project, so I'd stay clear. Exactly. It just unsubscribe for me. Yes, this too. Oh my! And then you blocked her. Oh my gosh! Or a ranch in the Great Rift Valley. I can confirm that about Calengens. Oh, Franklin, what's going on? I don't know what's the stereotypes for Kalenjin ladies? Because Kikuyu ladies, they want money, but that's everybody. Kamba ladies, I know the stereotype there. I'm not going to say it on here. It's a little explicit. What do they say about Kalenjin ladies? Taita ladies look nice. They all look nice though, but if I was going to have a type, how's Amara property investment? I don't know them, so I can't speak to it. I'm very skeptical of the property management companies. I think property management is a huge vulnerability for the building management and property management. I think that if one of you guys can bring your talents to Kenya, you could dominate the market because the lack of professionalism and good management is sorely lacking. If a couple of years go by and it's not fixed, I guess I'll have to do that as well, and we'll just have to do it ourselves. But guys, I'm trying to live a better lifestyle. I'm not trying to launch all these companies and businesses. I really would like to relax. But honestly, these businesses in Kenya, at least what I'm seeing with Almasi, is really easy. I mean, it's hard for the execution, but I know what needs to happen and how it needs to happen. But getting that scaled up is a little hard. But knowing what to do is easy. Oh Lord, the passport bros have taken over the live.
City boy, city boy.
Let's get this party started.
It is deviance, therefore we don't want it.
What is your experience with land lease contracts for off-plan buildings like Luminar and Belgravia? The max seems 99 years, and then you may get expansion or compensation. Luminar. So certain areas have a max of 50 years. I know with Luminar and Belgravia, they're doing renewals before they do handover. So for Luminar, you'll have the 50. I don't know if Belgravia should go to 50 or 99. Dr. Deca, member, checking in. How is everyone doing? I will catch up with everything later. Have a great week. You have a great week as well. That's why I left Kenya. Very transactional. It's even worse since COVID, year after year, with the influx of passport bro. The black guys coming to Kenya is a new thing. The real passport bros are from Europe, aka the Russian guy and all those. Trust me, there's no passport bros compared to the Europeans coming here doing whatever they're doing. Go to the coast. Your advice on Amar? I don't know them. I can't speak to it. Kenyan ladies are nice. They are nice, but they can be nice but not have good intentions. I, your advice on Chinese investment. People are different human beings, and so categorizing all Chinese people in one group would not be smart to do. It's lazy intellectually. Um, there's Chinese developers like the Hans Group, Jonas, Luminara, Belgravia. There's the Chinese developers like the GY Group, Amethyst, Emerald Springs. And there's Chinese developers like Shangri-La, which I would refuse. I wouldn't even let you guys buy it because I don't like how they do things. So there's a whole spectrum, just like every other nationality of people. There's all kinds of different people. So like I look at each developer individually. It gets better as your local Kenyan circle evolves, and yeah, that's true. Also, if I was going to get a Kenyan lady long term, I think they would need to come from a family that has money. They personally don't need money, but the scarcity thing is not working for me. I also have a problem with the bride price thing. Sorry. That's a big contentious thing. I just don't believe in it. Why the heck? Why? I think it's backwards. Like, okay, American culturally, which I agree with, your family is supposed to help you start in life, not extract resources from you. Like in the US, the bride's father is supposed to pay for like the wedding and stuff. They're supposed they're supposed to pay for you taking responsibility of their daughter, not them selling the daughter to you. Sorry, I don't like it. Sorry. Hi, Ryan. Please, before you return to Kenya, take us around your U.S. house, show your mom and dogs. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I was at the gym this morning, and there's a guy, a real estate guy that we know each other, and he was like, you were in Kenya? Like, my Kenyan stuff, you guys know all about that. My US stuff, you guys don't know anything about, and vice versa. People here, I don't talk about any of this stuff in the US because they lack context. They think like huts and flies flying on people, and like I just don't even have time to explain. But I guess I could do like a house tour thing if you guys really want. I wonder how that would do. I'm worried about the algorithm. YouTube makes you stay like in a niche. Any plans to invest in Kasumu? I have to go there before I'd even think about investing, but I need to go out there. It did look pretty chill, nice. The problem with these areas is like Nairobi has so much going on versus even Mombasa. I don't feel like there's a lot going on. So I would assume Kasumu, you go to like 3 or 4 places and then it's like, okay, that's it. Maybe retirees that aren't like really trying to do stuff I could see, but for me, it's a little tough. And then because like if you have less budget, you can go to these other places that are cheaper, but if you have good money, why wouldn't you invest in the hottest areas that are going to get exponential appreciation? I think even the Kenyan coast, I think that's like a 20-year thing. Nairobi is like a now thing. Like every year, like in the next 5 years is going to be really crazy as long as I'm worried about some of the government risks. They're doing stuff with taxes. I think there's a thesis for things to go bad. But obviously, I wouldn't be investing if I thought that was likely. But I do have a negative thesis and I have a positive thesis that we talk about when I talk to clients. To the person that says it's transactional in Nairobi, that was one lady. My other experiences were different. I walked into that one, met her quick without talking to her and vetting, broke my own rule. Yeah, but it is kind of common, to be honest. Like it just, and then I feel like because I'm a foreigner and I look the way that I look, that I'm being treated in a different way than they would treat someone else, and I don't like that, and I feel it. So I'm pretty down on the whole dating thing. Sorry, guys. I tried. I really tried. I got burnt. I got burnt. Not that kind of burn. I got like I tried to do the right thing and it didn't really work out, you know? And so it's like, and why am I like okay, why am I going to limit myself for who, for what? Make the case. I think that's like, I know it's not popular. The guy shouldn't be saying this stuff, but it sounds bad, but why should I keep you? You know, that's where I'm at. It just seems like a hassle. What? Like, why am I giving myself another hassle? And it feels like a hassle. Like, don't make it feel like you're a hassle. Make it feel like you're helping me somehow. That's my thing. But if it feels like I'm gonna lose. You know, I'm trying to build. I'm trying to save. I want to build a big like. I think I have things that are appealing that ladies would, well, clearly want. But what do I get for that? How you get burnt? Tell us. No, maybe members only one day, but no.
Emotional damage. Emotional damage.
You can't make this shit up, people.
I told you they just want money. Not, yeah, kind of, but not everybody. Shout out to all the members in here. You guys know we have 88 members. I can't even fathom that. Thank you for the support. And it's been a little light on the content, but we're about to drop like a couple financial ones, like 3 financial ones with real numbers, and then a whole bunch of should you buy videos that is going to talk about every project. So hang in there. Next week, I'm going to start recording all that stuff in the studio. It's much easier because the studio is already set up. I have my lighting. You see the lighting? See the shed? There's a $1,000 light right here. There's a $6,000 camera that I'm looking at. There's 4 other $2,000 cameras. And then we don't even use the studio that much. This is what I'm talking about with like, I built this whole setup here, and then my agents don't really take advantage of it. It's really disappointing. Ryan, I told you, sir, don't meet the ones in your area. And as per the being treated differently and expectations, yes, I get that feeling too. But yeah, but like, I just don't like it. That part is America's fault. The marketing. What's America's fault? That I feel like I should be getting something? Honestly, Kenyan ladies are very nice. Like they compliment you. The treatment is good, but the ideology isn't much different than the West. Like the things that still are like, I just there's some things I just can't. I can't do it. Did you speak about the coastal trip? I saw it was kind of confused. Yeah, so that property, the Diani property, is just has so many bedrooms in it that it could be easily confusing. It's a really good investment property. But yeah, I really love Diani actually, and I did not like Niali Mombasa. So I'm considering maybe building the first development house there, like a luxury beach house demo. I really like Diani. I have to go to North Coast, but I really liked it. Like, there's nice places to go there, all in the same area. The airport, you just fly in the airport and then you just walk off the plane and you just go wherever you're going. You don't even have to do anything. It's really cool. I really liked it a lot. The bag, like, you could just grab your bag as they take it out of the plane. Like, you're standing right there. It's just an airstrip in a building. The Ukunda airport is like really awesome. Is Kai into real estate in Nairobi like you? Yeah, we have a very similar like background. He was a police officer. I don't know if I want to leave him to tell his story as a police officer because it's really crazy. And I was in the military. He was on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. He was buying property after the financial crisis. He did it with friends and partners and stuff. I was buying it on my own, but he bought property like in California, and the prices, you could have bought a property in California 400,000, and now it's like $1 million. So he did really well. I did really well. We have like a really interesting, similar like path to finding ourselves in Kenya. I keep saying the women foreign guys get around are not the ones Kenyan men are looking. Yeah, that's true. Hard to explain, but we could tell them apart. Yes, 1000%. But I'm starting to be able to tell. But I totally agree with this. Um, that's exactly what happens. But see, if you're only there for 2 weeks, like it's a cool experience. But if you're really like trying to take it serious, which I on and off, I try and then I give up, then I try. Um, it's hard. Know that they were sold a bill of goods about what they think you as a foreigner. Yeah, you just look like an ATM machine. The movies, other countries. Yep. Why are Europeans the real passport bros? I think U.S. guys are much. No, 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 no. Look at what. Go to the coast, and especially. Sorry, but some of the Europeans have this like superiority thing that they got going on. Black Americans don't behave that way. Kai was a cop. Why am I thinking Beverly Hills? No, no, he had a very serious thing, but he doesn't talk about it, so I don't know. He should talk about it for sure. But when you learn, like, see, you'll understand Kai better if he tells you that story because then it makes sense. But it's weird. We lived on different coasts, and then we met in Kenya from the content, and we have a similar point of view about certain, not everything though. Which I like different voices on the channel, so I like this. I feel like it just gives people more information to make considerations because they're just different opinions, especially in Kenya where there's not that much data. You kind of want that. Woof. Nimechoka. Don't complain about my accent. Okay? Please. Tafadhali. The black unicorn lady is available. Who's the? Oh. With the dating, it's like you have the devil on your shoulder and then you have the angel on your shoulder, and then I go back and forth. And then when you're disappointed, you go full.
City boy, city boy.
No, black American guys don't have a weird racial superiority thing that manifests itself in these situations. Not at all. They need to come to Kenya and see all the Europeans with all the skinny, dark-skinned Kenyan ladies. To be a black cop in America and LA, geez. He is San Francisco, Northern California. I know you're not talking about me, but many American guys act like they are superior. You got to differentiate, though, because that may be for certain groups, but not for others. But and that's not everybody. But again, the passport bros, go look at the coast. These guys got a whole bunch of mixed kids down there, and I know they ain't staying down there. And then they don't look like the highest level of society of people. How did driving in Kenya change your experience? I feel like it's a little dangerous because like the way you space your car in Kenya, there is no space, and then here we keep a lot of space. So I feel like I'm going to scare a lot of people and appear to drive more recklessly. and then knowing what side to drive on is a little weird. And then when you look left and right, you should look right and left instead because of the direction that you go. So these are little things, but they do affect your driving. Apart from your business, does Kenya feel like home to you? Yeah. Yeah, it does. I'm very at home. I mean, you always are treated as a foreigner, so you will be like otherized, not necessarily a bad way, but you know, when I'm hanging out with Kenyans, they can move through spaces differently than I can. Like I'm very kind of on edge. Like when people come up to me, I'm kind of like, go away because I know they want something usually, even though not every person's like that. But see, that's my stance now because then if I entertain someone, then they'll follow you and they'll keep bothering you, and then sometimes we're out, someone will approach just me and like be like, I want to be your friend. Let's what's your M-Pesa? Like what? Get out of here. So the way that I have to move and the way that a local Kenyan has to move through spaces is different. But we all live our lives. I don't know. Like that's just what you got to deal with. It's not like the end of the world. But sometimes I'm aware of my own presence. But see, that's the thing. As Black Americans, we're used to that anyway. Because when you're black in a space, sometimes you become aware of you being in the space because you're different or whatever. So it's not that big of a change. But I do feel at home. But like for example, I don't like walking places, especially in Westlands, because people are gonna beg you. I don't like that. And it like I don't like when I see the people begging, they'll skip five other people to come to me. I get it, but I don't like it. Most Kenyans can tell the losers from back home guys from the serious foreigners. I don't know if that's true because I think when they see white people, they see like rich, like they think a lot of good things, and then they're at home. They're not the best person, and that's not a race thing necessarily, but white is all seems right in Kenya. Unfortunately, is that's my perception of how Kenyans perceive. You mentioned about numbers. Can you shed some light on actual? Yeah, I talked about ROI before. I can talk about with my properties. I'll release all the information about every dollar that was spent and came in. But estimating beyond unfurnished rental, I don't like to do. Ronnie, sorry to say, sir, but I can tell you haven't traveled much. I haven't definitely seen white guys dating women in these other countries while doing and thinking for yeah. And ladies have told me weird stuff, to be honest. Like, what? And some of the things that have been said to them when the guy gets mad is very they have racial undertones of racial superiority. You've seen the degenerates at the coast. Are there a lot of black degenerates at the coast with a whole bunch of mixed kids and stuff, and then they got holes in their shirt and looking like a slob? I don't think so. Americans, black or not, tend to have yeah, we have the America best attitude, but I don't think that's the same thing that I'm talking about. Yeah. We get begged too, Ryan. Yeah, and I get it, but when I show up, they come to me right away. No, the poor Kenyans think the loser back home is enough. Yeah. Yes. It's true. Yeah, the coastal Europeans. Yeah, it's I don't and not all European like I don't want to say like that they're all bad or have this superiority thing, but you see it, and that's not to say that Black Americans are perfect. Everyone has their problems. The Jay Rello thing was, but see, even his thing, the Russian guy was much worse. But the backlash for the Jay Rello thing was much worse than the Russian guy. That one girl is still on podcast talking about it. Like she's hype about it. The Italian mafia had me shook. And yes, Ryan, the white guys have weird fetish. Yeah, I've seen it, man. I'm sorry, I've seen it. It's weird. I understand what you mean. Yeah, I definitely feel targeted, even though I have Windows 10. Like the police. If I have my windows down while I'm driving and I go by somewhere with police, I roll them up because I know they're gonna want to try to find a reason to stop me more. And this is the thing, y'all Kenyans are funny about that because you try to tell me about my experience as if I don't know. Or you're like, oh, well, it happens to us. I know it does. I'm not saying I'm the only one, but frequency. Like, the internet's funny. Magnitude is important. So, in the UK, it rains a lot. But then why would I comment it rains in the US too? That's not the point. The point is it's a lot. Yes, it happens there too, and everywhere else in the world. But the magnitude of these things is where we differentiate. Yep, they do say bigoted things when they get angry. I've heard, I've I've heard some stories from ladies. They even approach me crazy. Really? Oh yeah, they'll sexualize you in a crazy, creepy way right away. I'm a father, black guy, so some of Ryan's lighter black issues I get to avoid. And oh, what? Yeah. So if you're darker, you'll have a different experience for sure. I never feel superior to anyone in Kenya, but the moment people realize I'm a foreigner, yeah, I mean, you definitely get advantages. I I like I like to be treated good, but I don't like why I'm treated good. I don't know how, but I would like to know Kai's story and how he came to Kenya. Ryan, connect him to Web Nation. He should. Well, yeah, but see, he didn't move. Well, yeah, I'll tell him. I talked to him today actually, so I'll tell him. I was like, "Where's the content?" He just said, "LOL." If you didn't settle in Kenya, what other? I've never been anywhere, so I don't know. I really couldn't think of anywhere else I would like to go. Like Cape Town seems cool, but South Africa, I just have problems with what's going on over there. Now, the internet can make things seem bigger than it is, so I get that. Um, I don't know. Ethiopia seems cool, but it seems a little hard to navigate. I don't think that would be easy to transition. Uganda, no. Tanzania, no. Probably would think about Ghana. Not Nigeria. Too hectic. Mm. You know what I want to do? Botswana and Austin does a lot in Namibia. I would like to check. And it's funny. Before I came to Kenya, I watched a lot of Austin stuff, and I kind of agree with a lot of the sentiment of a lot of his opinions. And so Namibia is probably pretty cool, and Botswana. They had a high regards for those places, and I probably would agree with what they're talking about. And I said the sentiment. I don't agree with everything he says because he takes it far. Yeah, he's like he reminds me of my brother. Like my brother has these type of attitudes, so I kind of get it. But the sentiment, I think, I follow. As a woman in Kenya, police has never stopped me. We don't have the same experiences. Yeah, I'm sure. But are you driving? Like driving, I'm always having anxiety that the police are going to stop me and bother me because it happens a lot. And I don't think I've done too many things wrong for them to stop me. Here's the thing that white men dating black women and having race superiority issues. I first saw it with my ex-American fiance's sister in Florida years ago when I saw, yeah, the ends come out and all that kind of stuff happens, you know. Here too, yeah. Ethiopia is a good country, but the problem is like, yeah, instability outside. Yeah, I agree. Um, Interesting for investment. Yeah, I guess my second alternative would have probably been Ghana. I'll get there eventually. The weird thing, guys, again, I kind of hate traveling, so I like to be where I'm at. And it's expensive. Goodness gracious, the flights are very expensive. So yeah, well, that's I think that's the live. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. It was good spending time with you. I'll probably be back on next Saturday, Sunday, noon or 12:30. I added a 30-minute delay because I had to get the tech set up here. But I'll probably be more frequent. Thank you to the members. I really appreciate you guys being members. It's really cool, like to be supported in that way. And I want to make sure I'm returning the value to you guys. We have a lot of videos coming out. Most of the new videos are going to be members only because it's going to be a lot of real numbers, real stuff going on. I'll consider doing a U.S. house tour. I had to plan it after my cleaning lady leaves. Also, my pool's having an issue, so but maybe I'll just show it like that. I don't know. Um, Yeah, thank you to the members. Thanks for everyone supporting that watches the live. We had up to 85 people in here today. That's pretty cool. Thanks for everybody who worked with Almasi or plans to work with Almasi. We're here to help you guys any way that we can with your real estate purchases. You know, I'm available for consultation with Almasi, or, you know, if you guys want alternative stuff. We'll continue to expand. We'll do our proper launch when I return. I should be back in Kenya for a couple weeks in August, and then I should be back long term mid-November before Thanksgiving. I'm running away for the holidays, and then maybe I'll be back. Gosh, it would be a long time again. I got to figure out my life. I ideally I would like to be in Kenya from mid-November to the end of May, mid-May. It will be 6 months. Can my life in the U.S. sustain me being gone 6 months? We'll see. That's the plan. If you guys are interested in any of that, the Ebony Stays property or the Kikambala North Coast 7 million quarter acre, fill out the information or contact me directly. Again, we've done some due diligence on those properties, so you know you still have to do your own, but they're a bit vetted. And then we have the Sioki Mall land for developers. What else we got going on? Woodley Village video comes out next Saturday. Unless you're a member, you've already seen it. I'm wondering what you guys think about that project. And I think that's it. I'll check out the last comments real quick. Austin's knowledge of Kenya is lacking. Consent. Oh, is it? See, guys, I don't say Swahili words up here because I feel like you guys are going to crush me about my accent, but I actually understand quite a bit, but I'm a little shy to speak it. But I was good. This is a video I'll make. I think for you to have a full experience in Kenya, you do need to know Swahili, actually. I think his knowledge is not that bad, actually. Police are more likely to ask men for money. Yeah, I figured that. Yes, I can fly to Johannesburg and India for half the price of flying to Ethiopia, even though Ethiopia is right next door. Doesn't make sense. That's a big problem. Thanks for the stream. Thanks, Ronnie, for participating. I look good? Thank you. Thank you very much.
I like this right here.
Thank you.
I like this right here.
Hey, appreciate that. Eddie. House tour would be nice. Got to show them you aren't a loser back home. I know, right? Like I've been, I do, I'm a reasonable person, you know. I don't have a Lamborghini yet. Oh man, there's one on Cars and Bids, but I can't justify $100,000. That's crazy. I'd rather have land in Kenya and build a house or something. Peace, blessings, everyone. Thank you, MH member. The police just can't tell I'm a foreigner until you start speaking. But I was also born in the Caribbean. Oh, that's cool. What's the time there in Kenya? It's 10 p.m. It is 3 p.m. here. David, thank you for your participation. It's been cool hanging out with you. That's all I got, guys. See you guys next week. I don't know why I limit these lives to weekly, but maybe I'll just do one by the pool one day and just talk to you guys. I don't know. I get worried if with YouTube, if you do stuff that doesn't do well, then all of a sudden your videos start going down. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do some more stuff while I'm here in the U.S. But that's it. Thanks for participating this Sunday. And thanks for all of your support. Everybody have a good rest of your day and a great week coming up. See ya.